Can we go?
Hit by a car. What's it say now? Is it walking? So can we go?
Okay, well then let's go.
From working with the Fast Life program, I feel like I've learned, and kind of what I have learned throughout teaching, but it's been more solidified, is that not every child, and especially not every disability, is cookie cutter. The only way to really learn about that child and that disability is through something like Fast Life. So in a classroom setting, you're really pushing for excellence and you're pushing for learning. And in the community and in Fast Life, we really, and something that Dr. Hopkins pushes us to do, is push that student to the point where then they can make the decision, and if they make a mistake, that's a perfect learning experience.
Community-based instruction is a very real part of the special ed world. It's the ability to create instruction that you implement in the actual community setting. So you're not just talking about how to go shopping at a grocery store. You're not just talking about how to cross the street. You're doing it live in the setting. It's a huge, very important part of the special ed world. Well, if you've never done that before because you're just always in classrooms, it's alarming. You get really nervous because what do you do when you're standing in line at the Penn bookstore and it might take your student 5 to 10 minutes to pay because you want them to do it on their own, and now you've got a line behind you.
So it has to go sideways, right? Sideways.
I don't even remember what I used to do before I came to this great place. So many things have happened. It's like I'm just expanding. I don't know if I don't feel like myself anymore. I mean, everything has changed. Vast has made a big change on me.
There you go. It is, so it looks like a cat, but it's a jaguar.
There's no special ed hallway in the world. So all of these kids that we're educating, possibly in somewhat segregated environments in terms of special needs versus kids with neurotypical needs, especially this population, are going to go live in a community and live in a neighborhood where they're fully included. They're going to be working in local businesses. They're going to be socializing in the community. And they need to understand what it's like to do this as much on their own as possible.
I think the biggest thing that the Vast Life students take away from the experience is a feeling of self-confidence and that they have ownership of these things that they're doing. I feel like in school a lot of the time they're kind of given these modifications that they need, but it can have an impact on them where they understand they're not doing the same things that the other kids in the class may be doing. So I think that this experience is allowing them to have real life experiences that they witness all these other people having, and realizing that there's just little accommodations that can be made so that they can have these true experiences too.
Go ahead. You can do it. How many years ago was it?
So my hope is always that students come away with this for a passion for wanting to work with the population. And my other hope is that they become their own little preachers. This needs to be a calling in many, many ways. And if it's not a calling, you probably should look at another area of certification. So I preach that all day long, but I really do find that it's Vast that makes them the little preachers that go off into their own educational communities and in some ways market the population as to what they can do and all of the things that can go on, and how easy it is just to tweak little things in classrooms and tweak little things in lessons to really create a fully inclusive school. The goal is full inclusion. The goal is that we don't have separate classrooms. The goal is that everybody's getting their needs met at their level with everybody else, because as I said before, there's no special ed hallways in the world. So why would we create segregation in our schools?
This figure is one of a pair. What's a pair again? What's a pair? Well, we're a pair, but how many things are in a pair? 2. Yeah.